recording. Okay.
Right. You good? You good? Are we winning?
Yeah, I feel like this is a new chapter. Yeah.
This is a new beginning. Okay, welcome to episode 1 of the Rights to World pod. No, what?
That was beautiful. Please don't, you did that on purpose, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was like impressed and then I was concerned.
Can you imagine? It's the kind of thing I would have done by accident. It's 100% the kind of thing that I would have done by accident and then just messed up. But no, this time it was intentional, so relax.
I don't know what I just did then. I did like a chef's kiss, but with like a bit of an Italian flair. I don't.
Oh, I kind of like the idea of that, you know? I don't know why, that just feels like exciting in some way.
Oh dear. Sometimes I forget that you can't see me.
Well, same.
Like, I don't know why, I just always image you in my head so that, like, I feel like you can see me.
Well, what I enjoy is that I like to try and, I try and imagine you in my head, but then sometimes when I'm editing it, I'm like, what are you looking at right now? What's over there? And I'm like trying to look round to see what you're possibly looking at, because it's like, you looked out the window and I'm like, what's there? But then also I look at myself looking out the window like, oh, look, a bird. Halfway through it, I'm like, stop looking at the birds. They're not interesting, they're birds.
I don't know if it would help if we could actually see each other, but I feel like we'd still get distracted.
No, it'd be worse. It'd be worse.
Yeah.
It will be worse because I wouldn't be able to stop myself trying to distract you.
Do you know what? Like, I don't know whether you notice this when you're editing, but I'm normally fiddling with something.
Yes.
And 9 times out of 10, I will drop it on the floor multiple times and then lean down and go pick it up.
Yes,
and
you do.
I'm trying to do it under the camera.
Yes.
But it's not very discreet.
Yes, I've noticed all of these things every week. I've noticed that. I see it. I'm like, there she goes again. What is it this week? Sometimes you can sense that it's like a clip or something.
Yeah.
Because you can just you can just see it and you can see that you're like satisfied with it. I'm just like, fair enough. I mean, I can't talk because I also do it, so.
It's like one of those mini crocodile clips. I think they're crocodile clips.
Yeah.
And, oh, actually, slight confession. In first year, I got a pack of these. This is so embarrassing. No, I'm gonna. I didn't know how to use them. You know the type of clips I'm on about, right?
I think so.
They're kind of like triangular, and you bend them backwards, force them open, and then like clamp. They're like mini clamps.
Yeah, I think I get you. Yeah.
But in first year, I'd never used them before, and I went to hang up some of my photos or something, and I thought you used them by pushing. I'll demonstrate for our visual things by pushing the two like metal clips together like that, and I thought, these are shit, they have no grip
Oh
to it.
my god, please do not tell. Oh, Kat, please.
And like for months I was like, these are just really shit, why did people use these? And then I don't know what made me realise, I think I was playing with one and then I went, oh, they open, oh, maybe I could put the paper in like that, and then I realised that was how you were meant to do it, and I have loved them ever since.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, I think I know exactly. Okay, yeah, let's just go. I've just found a random thing. Not it's not random, but like, I just have to send this to you to be like, just to be clear, it looks like that.
Yeah, that is exactly what.
That's exactly the one. So what you're telling me is you used the metal things,
the metal,
and
like,
pushed them together. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
What did you think the triangle was for?
To hold the two pieces together. No, like, I thought you like slid it in the gap. So like, let me see if I can. Here's a card. This is actually from you, this card. How funny is that?
Oh, fucking hell.
It's
brilliant.
It's the you will be my best tea. You'll always be my best tea.
I like that one.
That wasn't even this year, I don't think. Was it this year?
Possibly this year.
I feel like it was the year before. Maybe, I don't
remember.
know. I normally keep your cards because they're cute. Okay,
Aw.
I'm gonna demonstrate. I know, I'm gonna bypass the fact
I
that I
feel,
said something cute.
I feel
then.
very, like, suddenly emotional at the idea of you keeping my cards.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep people's cards, but I just thought I was weird for doing it. Anyway, I'm sorry, carry on.
I've got two right next to me. One says, "Being related to me is the only gift you need," as well. I think that was the one you gave
Not
me
wrong.
this year,
Not wrong.
which is why I think the other one. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, it's so cute, and I literally just like launched it into the basket next to me. I was like, yeah, I care so much.
Gone.
So, as you can see in my demonstration of holding up this card, well, you can't see, but
No,
you'll
but I'm
see when you
imagining.
edit it. This is how I thought you used them instead of the correct way. So if you're confused
God, it angers me. It angers
about
me
how
that you
to
would
use
use them.
them, you do it like that, so you can get a lot more in.
And to
than
be
just
fair, if you were
forcing
using it like
in.
that, of course you'd think they were crap.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to hold on to anything.
I don't even. And the best bit was I sort of forced the paper into the bit where it shouldn't be.
Oh my
I just
god.
did it in the
Basically, you accidentally made it work by
Yeah.
using it wrong.
Yeah. I'm a genius.
I'm almost proud of you in a way. You
I'm
managed
proud
to
of
like.
me for confessing that because I felt really stupid for a
No,
long
you know what? I
time.
can't look. We all have those moments in our lives, and as much as I'm mocking you for it, I think I'm fully aware that it could easily happen to me, and almost certainly has. Anyway, hi, welcome back to the World's Rights podcast. Yes, that's right. We are so advanced in our minds that Kat has recently discovered how to use the clips. And if you know what those clips are actually called, we'd love to know. We'd love
I'm
to
gonna
know.
keep calling them crocodile clips.
I think we may as well. I think this has got to be a thing that we do from now on. I think you're just
I
going to
feel
call
like-
it crocodile clips forever.
You know, they like snap. What is something like that's snappy? Crocodiles. Alligator clips. Oh, don't be disappointed. You were proud of me. Please.
No, I am proud of you. I just sometimes you confuse me. Sometimes I think I accidentally slip off your wavelength and I have to just get back in there, you know.
You know when you see like people say, "Oh yeah, I'm the smart dumb friend." I feel like all of my friends are the smart dumb friend.
Yeah, fair.
Sorry, I'm like on one.
No, go on.
That I don't listen to the podcast very often because I hate the sound of my own voice.
Exactly.
And so I sometimes I just watch the clips or sometimes I scan through the episode, but I just have full faith that you edit out the bits where I'm a fucking idiot.
I think it
save-
depends. If sometimes I have edited them out if it's like if you oh my god, a bird flew into my window. Fucking hell.
Oh my god.
Whoa. I'm so sorry. I know I said I wouldn't get distracted by birds and immediately got distracted by a bird, but sometimes you if you say someone's name I'm like, would they be happy if we mentioned them like that? No,
Yeah.
I'll just edit their name out. Often if it's us being dumb, but in the harmless
Oh
way.
yeah.
No, those stay in. But if you're like,
I don't mind it if it's me being dumb and it's not affecting anyone. But
occasionally
I mean
we
more...
phrase things wrong. I think it's fair to
Yeah.
say. Sometimes I have to go for it. I'm like, I know what we're trying to say, but we didn't nail it, and so I'm just gonna bop it out.
We're not saying that we're secretly
Kat is actually a
serious.
massive white supremacist. Every single
Yeah,
week I
and
have to
Chris
edit out the
edits it out.
KKK section of the podcast where Kat just completely fucking loses it. But that doesn't happen. Obviously it doesn't happen. Can you imagine
I'm
if we've
glad
been
you
friends
said
all
that.
of these years and I just had to accept the fact that you were a massive white supremacist?
Don't even because I've been doing my readings recently. I don't know why I said it like that.
I've been doing my readings recently in a reading room.
I sound like a preach. Wait, what was wrong?
No, it's happened again.
There's so many names for like clergymen though.
Yeah,
like
I get you.
but-
I
yeah.
think you were going for priest and just messed up in the
Priest.
final moment.
Yeah.
There, so I'll give you that one.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and every book I get to the end, I'm like, wow, I'm so racist without meaning to be. Like, that sounds really awful, but it's like a good thing because obviously I can then correct my like thought processes
agree.
and actions.
I agree.
And, like,
Sometimes it's good to have that awareness. And I
Yeah.
think, sorry, now I'm jumping on your sense. We're terrible. No, so someone, like a friend of mine has just recently started listening to the podcast. And they were listening through and they were asking me after episode 5, I think.
Oh, okay. So they've backtracked.
Yeah, no, they're going for, right from the beginning, yeah. Yeah, episode 5, because we were talking about mental health, obviously, and then we mentioned how angry it made me around the time of George Floyd dying and all of those things about the all lives matter thing, and all about that. And I was they asked me, not in a, they're not from the UK, like English is not their first language, so it's definitely moments where you realise, oh, okay, yeah, you have to kind of explain this a little bit more. But I was basically doing some more thinking about that, and I was trying to make sure I phrased it in the way that I wanted to be clear on what I was saying about why all lives matter is not really the most helpful thing you could say in things. And so I was reading some stuff trying to like make sure I got it right, and I was like, oh yeah, there's definitely some, like, sometimes you just become aware of some of your unconscious biases and things, and you're like, oh yeah, I need to correct that. And it happens to everyone. I think it's good that you should always be ready to check yourself, and correct, because no one is perfect. No one says everything right all of the time, and sometimes we can cause offense with our words, and it's good to be aware of times where that happens so that you can try and limit it, really. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in being wrong sometimes, as long as you're willing
learning from it
to learn. Yeah, exactly.
That was one of the things I was gonna say. Like, when I started realizing things, I felt so guilty that it made me like just like, oh, I'm a terrible person. And it's like, no, I need to just keep, I need to get over that in a way so I can keep learning and be better, basically.
There's lots of things I don't, even now, I mean, oh my god, sorry, my throat was like horrible. But like things about women's health and kind of lots of issues around women and non-binary people and people of all gender, and different kind of intersectionality of like the like different issues that people face, but how they also like can overlap and interact with each other, and how doing this for this group sometimes conflicts. It's like I'm on a constant learning process. I fully am the first to accept that I'll never be an expert on those things. Oh my goodness, my throat is horrible today. I'll never be an expert, but I'm happy because it means that I'll always be trying to learn and understand more.
Definitely.
and hopefully ask the right questions that help me continue on that, because that's, yeah.
I think like the more research you do, like say with feminism, for example, there's people who don't believe trans women have a place in feminism.
Yes.
And there's also other categories like black feminism and how that relates to white feminism, and there's all like lots of different, you think, oh yeah, I know about feminism. It's like, well, actually I don't know about this side of it or this side of it or this side of it, and like I need to, because how are we gonna progress as a society if we're at least one of my relatives actually said that he read the same book as I did, and
Which book
he
was
didn't why I'm no longer talking to white people. I wasn't gonna say that bit because I didn't want to drop them in it, but I guess I haven't said who it is. But
No.
the
book is a good book, by the way.
Yeah, it is. And this was the thing. They said that they disagreed with certain things in it, but they were glad that I was reading it because they said, you know, you should at least be educated on it so then you can have an opinion on it instead of not knowing anything.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, well, I have respect for that, because even though I disagree with you for disliking the book, or disliking aspects of the book, at least you're still learning about different problems. I don't know if that's worse, but I don't know if it's worse,
if you're willing
being
to
aware
at least
and
be open-minded to go into it open-minded, even if you read all the stuff and you end up disagreeing, then you can respect the fact they've gone into it with an open mind and tried to understand. And because to properly challenge something, you kind of need to understand it, you have to, if you want to deal with inequality in society, you kind of need to understand why inequality is there and the reasons for it. Because you can just do things, you can be like, it's very easy to say, oh well, everyone should have the same chance of getting a job. Yeah, okay, that's a nice easy thing to say, but the reality of that is that, okay, so how are you going to ensure that happens? How are you going to make sure that people from a poorer background are able to end up at the same point as someone from a more well-off background? How are you going to make sure that throughout their time at school they have access to the same kinds of opportunities? There's lots of different layers in there, and how do you end up holding, how are you going to help one group advance without holding back another group? There's lots of different layers to it that you only get when you actually understand things. So it's really important to
and I feel
understand these things.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
I was just gonna say that being educated on feminism or racism or whatever, it doesn't mean you then have to dedicate your life to being a feminist, being an activist. You can simply be aware of those things, so that, so say I end up working in A&R, when I'm going to, say I'm employing someone, I can have the mentality of oh, okay, I know I've been conditioned to employ a middle class white man, and if I'm aware of that, I can actually be like, oh no, actually this person's a better fit, and I've just got used to that idea in my head, and even changes like that can be really fundamental, I believe.
Absolutely, it doesn't have to, you don't have, people think you have to become a protester, you have to be out on the streets shouting at things, you have to be, you don't actually, you don't understand the power, I think, lots of people, of how valuable it is for people to, you don't always have to say anything. It's your behaviours, it's the way you act, it's the way you approach people, it's the way you listen to people. You don't have to say in a meeting, okay everyone, bored of white people, let's listen to the black people now. No one's going to thank you for that. But
no,
you can find a way of making sure everyone is included in the conversation without ever having to say out loud and signpost that that's what you're doing. It's about the things you do. You don't everything we do. There's what we say outwardly, all these things, and what we do, is really important.
I feel as well, it's not just superficial things that, say, employing someone that doesn't necessarily look like you or anything like that, but thinking, so say one candidate's got a degree, and fuck me. Say one candidate has got a degree and one candidate doesn't. It's also thinking like, oh, okay, well, was education available to them? Were they in a situation where they couldn't access that because they might still have the same knowledge, and well, I mean, it'd be, you know, slightly different knowledge, but they might be better qualified for the job. But if you look at their condition, like classism and stuff like that as well, then I don't know. Like, I don't want to pretend I'm this like woke person. I'm just trying. And
yeah, I think that's all we can do. I think all we can do is try. I don't think that
really
makes anyone woke or not. I mean, if the choice is, look, I don't see a problem with being woke if being woke means being aware to the problems in the world and rather than smoothing over them, trying to make clear that they're not okay and that we should do something about them. If that's what it is, then I'm happy to do that. I think the thing about like a degree or something is, like, on the one hand, the degrees that we've got are a good. They prove that yes, I went and studied a course and I met the criteria for getting the qualification. So I know something about what I'm doing. I'm able to do this, but some people would think that a lack of degree means that you don't have the knowledge. That's not always true, because like you said, classism and lots of things can prevent you actually getting a formal qualification, but the knowledge is still there, because the knowledge is always like it's not like at university they hand you a secret book and go, okay, so here's the secret book, we don't tell anyone outside the university about it, but inside it, big secrets that you can't share. No, lots of knowledge is available out there, and it's often behind paywalls and things, which again makes problems, but
yeah,
often people find a way of still. Lots of people I know who are incredibly clever have never got a degree or anything like that, because it's not, the two are not necessarily the same. Having a degree is almost like, yes, I went to an institution, I did a course, I knew the things on my course, I learned things, I was able to complete exams and prove that I've learned those things, and now I have the qualification for it. Someone else might have learned it and got all of the information, but they've never been through the formal process of actually proving to someone, yes, I know this. So yeah, you definitely, I think if you're recruiting, it's like, you think, okay, this person has a degree, this person doesn't, but let's go a bit further. Like, do they actually know what they were doing with their degree? Is it just like they were just there, they turned up to the classes, remembered enough to be able to like scrape
pass
through, compared to this person
yeah,
who never went to university but really, really knows their stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I try and think back to, despite the fact I'm an extremely privileged person, I think about the fact that I almost couldn't go to uni because my student finance was like denied, and I think, okay, what if someone was in the same position as me but never had that teacher there to, you know, stay there after school, and because I was ready to give up and not go, because they just kept like batting me back and forth to different departments, but this teacher was like so determined to get it sorted for me. She saw that there was a hole in the system, and she got me through it, and I ended up at uni, but I so could have easily not have been. And you know, that's I think I've got to remember that going on in life, to not be like, oh yeah, I'm better because I've got a degree. It's like,
Absolutely
cool.
not. I think that's the thing in life, is that you can have many roads which end up at the same place. Some having gone through a much windier and stranger path, some look like they go straight there, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's, life is more than the things you put on paper, I guess. A human being is worth much more than the numbers and letters that are associated with their name.
Would you believe that this is an unstructured podcast?
Would you believe,
episode?
like, we actually, I mean, after the catastrophe, the absolute disaster that was the last episode, we've come in this week and it's like we've gone, hello everyone, welcome back, we're an educated bunch.
Yeah, I've had my 2 weeks of reading.
She's had her reading weeks. Kat's had her reading weeks. I've been marking her essay. She's been doing very good, really improving. No. Yes. I was gonna. I think if you had anything else, I was gonna go on to
Mental health.
mental health. We're back again. Hey everyone. We've never talked about mental health, have we?
No.
No. Do you want to? Do you want to explain?
Should I lead? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I messaged Chris because I had a few days of socialising. I was loving life. I went to London, Oxford and Milton Keynes back to back. Not in that order though. Don't know why I said it in that order. Doesn't matter. I did a lot of socialising, and like when I went to London I saw 2 groups of friends, and when I went to Milton Keynes I went and saw 2 sets of relatives, and it was just very, very busy. And got back, and then I found out so driving back from Oxford and get the call that my car, Piers was driving, just for contents because that sounded like context.
While she was driving, she got a call and they said, your car's gonna break down, and she was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like veering off the road. Essentially got the call saying that my car is fuck-a-doodle-dude, which was great. Basically, it's really boring, but they made this clutch for like a few months, and I happened to get one of these clutches that ended up getting discontinued, but VW, because my car's a Polo, didn't recall these clutches.
Why would you? Why would you?
So we've been trying to find a replacement clutch, which is really hard. I mean, we can get one from VW, but it's £1,500, so which I think we're gonna have to do. But basically, it means that once the clutch is fixed, it's too much money to then keep the car. So I'm gonna have to say goodbye to my first car, and I was a bit upset. I was a bit. I don't know, like. There's just so many memes in that car. Like, I illegally drove with people in the car. I don't think you're meant to drive with people in the car when you're a learner. Like, a car full of people. I feel like that's probably
I'm not sure, although I did pass someone doing the same thing yesterday. And I'm pretty sure they were more illegal, because I'm pretty sure that the people in the car also should not have been supervising. So, I think you're probably fine.
Yeah, and and it was in Wales, in the middle of nowhere, so
it's fine. No one's in Wales anyway.
But like, I just stuff like that where it's just cute memes. But no, yeah, car's gonna go. So I was a bit I went to cry, and I was like, I'm not gonna cry over a fucking car. Don't be stupid. So I pulled it together, and then I'd had this busy like week of socialising, ended up cancelling on Chris for the podcast because I was so tired. I wasn't even drinking when I was socialising.
To be fair to you, you actually were like, I think you were like, oh, we can still do it this week if you want.
Yeah, like,
which normally happens. Most times you're like, oh, we could still do it if you want, and I was like, I'm not sure we should.
Yeah, and I'm glad, because I literally put my head on the pillow, fell asleep, and as an insomniac, that's pretty impressive. So I slept, which was needed, and then maybe that was that was the start of it, I think. I slept in the day. I slept for like 16 hours within a 24-hour period, like not continuously.
Oh my god, you must have been actually exhausted.
Yeah, I think I hadn't really done too much in-person socialising, and it just took it out of me, and late nights and not sleeping till late, and like that is what a late night is. I don't know why I'm a fucking idiot. Getting up early, like I got up early every day and went to bed late every day, so just knackered me, which is never good for your mind when you have mental health issues anyway.
No.
Um, but I realised on Monday that, sorry, this is probably a very boring story.
No.
But on Monday I realised that my dream job. Oh yeah, so you guys missed this. My dream job became available online. It was advertised, and I was so like the right company, the right internship. Tick tick tick. I was very happy. I sent my CV off to somebody who already works in that field, and they said it was good. I sent it to a recruiter, and they said it was good. I was very happy. Sent it off. And then on the Monday, I found out that the job had been taken offline, which was really weird because it was classed as, you know, when they have that little note next to it which says new because it's only been up a few days or what have you. And they normally advertise the jobs for like 2 weeks, I think. From, you know, just from me looking, that seems to be what they do. And so I found out that they took it off at like 5:30 in the morning on like a Wednesday. So I was like, that means they've either got somebody already that they like had in mind that they just want to give that position to, or they've liked the first CV that they've looked at or something like that. Like I'm pretty sure the position has gone.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what am I doing with my life? I feel like it's gone, and I was sort of spiraling. I was thinking, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go and get a job as. Do you know what the first thing that popped into my head?
What?
I thought, oh yeah, I'll be a vet receptionist. I don't know why. I was like,
I mean, if I had a pet, I would gladly take it to the vets. But it meant you were a receptionist, because I just come in and invent problems that didn't exist.
Aww.
Just to entertain you, I'd just be like,
that'd be such a good love story.
Maybe that's. Can you imagine? Oh my god, there's got to be a rom-com with that in already.
Oh yeah, so it's cheesy enough, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I thought, oh, maybe I should just give up on the dream, and then I was like, it's been 3 months, like, of looking for my dream job. That's not really a long time in the grand scheme of things. No, to be fair,
3 months is not too long.
It feels like a long time, and it wasn't like I was sat there like really depressed in terms of like I just couldn't be bothered to do anything. And so I gave up on my New Year's resolutions, basically. So one of them was reading every day, like trying to drink lots of water, and I sort of already given up a bit on the whole calorie counting business because I just felt like I don't want it to develop into a eating disorder. So I sort of decided in a healthy way to stop that before, but I went from eating pretty healthily and having nutritional meals to like eating pizza and crap. Like, so yeah, I just got myself into a bit of a shitter. And then yeah, I guess I hadn't realised this whole time that I was bummed about the job. I didn't know. I was annoyed because I thought I've got everything that I've ever wanted in life, and other than the fucking job. Ouch. And now my car's broken. But like in the bigger picture, I've got everything I want. So why am I was annoyed with myself. I was like, you've got so much fucking privilege and you're sat in bed doing nothing. Which is maybe not the best way to.
No, I think the thing is, it's like, I mean, we said it before, but it's like, it's relative, isn't it? It's like, you almost can't. Yeah, on the one hand, yeah, you know, you have privileges, absolutely, but like that doesn't take away from the fact that you can still feel depressed and still be struggling and still be having a hard time. I mean, who I think everyone could probably understand the feeling of you see your dream job, you see this job that you've been working towards, and you think this would be perfect, this is perfect. To have that kind of, it's like the universal feeling of having something dangled in front of you that you think is going to be amazing, it's going to be the
Yeah.
best thing ever, and then nope, take it away, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, but I still want that. Oh, it's gone now. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, like and you almost don't really because you don't understand why. You had no context as to why the job was taken down. You don't know for what reason.
And I haven't
it
had like
disappeared.
an email. Like
Yeah.
I've applied to that company before, and I had a rejection email from them. So I was sort of like, at least if I get a rejection email, I can move on, and I haven't had one. So I don't know if it is still open, but I doubt it, because why would they close it if they hadn't contacted people? I don't
And that's the thing as well, it's the uncertainty, right? Like we as human beings, we like to know things, really.
Yeah.
Like we love certainty and assurance that something is going to happen. So in this like weird nowhere kind of purgatory where it's like, it could still be available, but why would it be gone? But then why would they take it down? To like, you get stuck in that cycle of questions and not really knowing, and there's no clarity coming. So yeah, it definitely can. It helps. You know, like it helps spiral almost.
Yeah, and I think like I just didn't realize that was why I was really unmotivated. Like I didn't want to go out and walk the dogs. I didn't want to read. I didn't want to watch. Didn't want to watch Netflix. Like what, you know? You're
Oh
like,
my god.
What's wrong with me?
Even
I
in my
just wanted
deepest
to, like,
depressions, in fact, if anything, that's when my Netflix subscription gets most uses.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't even want to watch TV. I don't know, like, but then
No,
I
I get you.
didn't. I wasn't crying. I wasn't sat there like upset. I just, yeah, and I guess that's the thing. I then realised it was about the job and was like, oh, okay, well, at least now I've realised that I can get on, move on. That sounds so. It's like a breakup.
Okay. It's a clean break. It's gone now. No.
Yeah, I don't. As soon as I
Once
realised,
you realise what the problem is, it's easier to know. It's like what I was saying earlier about the okay, these seem quite far apart, but like trying to deal with something major in society, you have to understand the problem before you can fix it. It's like that
Yeah.
with your like mood, your mental health as well. You can do the things that would make you feel happy, but they don't work, and it's because often you don't understand why you're struggling, and when you understand why it is you're struggling, you're able to go, oh, okay, so let's try this because this will help more. So it does help when you realise that, yeah.
And I feel like with job hunting, like there's a lot more than just, oh yeah, you get the job or you don't get the job. If you don't get a job, you think, why was I not good enough? And you think, I should have done this or I should have done that. And like, I'm in a position at the moment where I can live the life I'm living, which is not doing very much, like, going seeing friends occasionally, but I can't go and take a internship where I earn no money, or
No.
I can't go and pay to say, like, I've wanted to go and shadow some sound engineers again, like that I've done in the past, but then it's like, okay, well, I have to pay to get to London, pay for food or whatever, like to go and get that experience, and I'm not in a, I'm saving for a wedding. I'm definitely not in a position to then have an extra expense to...
Which is something as well that, for all the privileges you said you have, like, those things are very real concerns as well. I feel like I'm your therapist. I feel like I'm coming in.
I know.
Like,
I love
but, like,
this.
It's but it's those kind of things that hold people back. Often it is one of the big reasons for why we don't have the same opportunities is that we can't afford to take a free internship. We can't afford to pay for an internship. We can't afford the transport costs. Like, traveling to London is expensive. I don't. It sounds like a stupid sentence, but it's insanely expensive. If you want to live in London, you've basically got to sell an organ. You know, get ready to sell that kidney, because
Yeah.
you're not going to be. You won't. That's gone now. Like, it's crazy expensive. It's crazy stressful. Space is limited. Like, for the same money to live somewhere in the north of England, you could probably get a shed in London. You know, like it's
Oh
that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Trains into London are difficult and
And
busy.
that's the thing. There's
There's so
no
much going on, and those things disadvantage you. You know, those things are like
definitely.
that. They are real disadvantages that impact upon your ability to get into it, because not being able to do those things might mean that it's more difficult for you to get shadowing opportunities as sound engineers, internships within the music industry. So, you know, these are very real disadvantages, anti-privileges. There you go.
Wonderful. That was
Barriers. That's the
beautiful.
word I was looking for.
I think like you said about trains being expensive. So if I got this internship, the salary would have been around 21,000, 20 and a half maybe, something like that. Which you know, I was like, oh yeah, that's great. And then I thought about it and I thought, I checked the season tickets for the trains, and it was £5,680, I think,
Mm-hmm.
or it was 6,000 and something. It was that much just for the train. You add my undergraduate student loan, my postgrad student loan. You add, you know, obviously like national insurance tax. Oh god, this was not meant to be a depressing thing. Oh, no, I'm not saying that you were making it like, sorry, that sounded really bad.
No, it didn't. I really am. I've become your therapist. There you go. I didn't even get paid for this shit, you know? This is free.
Well, I'll return the favour. Just to like finish off.
Yeah.
Essentially, I bounced back. I don't know, like I set myself a couple of little jobs to do so that I felt like I'd accomplished something in the day, and then I ended up doing loads because I hadn't overwhelmed myself. I ended up just getting the house back to being tidy, and I don't know, and then I felt good about myself because I thought, actually I've done more than I set out to do. And then I messaged Chris, which I feel like was finalising that I was gonna have a good rest of the week, was because it's like, okay, I'm gonna tell Chris that I've had a shit few days, but I'm like out of the rut and I'm gonna get on.
When you hear about someone who's had a tough time, who's fallen over, but been able to kind of get themselves back up a little bit, or even just start getting back up, you feel very proud of them. And so I was, when you told me about it, I was like, I'm proud of you for recognizing that you were in a kind of rut, and for being able to, you know, like, get yourself kind of start getting out of it and be honest about it, because it's really just as a friend, it makes me very proud to know you, because I know that you're a very strong person. I know some people don't like the like the bit where I'm really nice, and but no, I know,
it's like,
you see the strength that your friends have, the people have around you, and you think, I love that.
Yeah, I thank you. Me getting awkward, like.
Kindness. What?
Kindness. What is that? I basically, when I was about to send the message, I thought like I'd want Chris to feel like he could do this to me, like message me about this stuff. So like that's why I wanted to actually message you, and then we get sort of Chris's perspective. Like, he messaged me back saying that he'd experienced a similar thing, which I don't know if you want to go into a bit, but
sure. It was very weird timing, so I think definitely, you know, sometimes it really frustrates me, and it's weird given what I've just said, but I would say that for a few months now, I've not been right, and I'm not really sure how to like I mean, part of me is like, when did it kind of start? When it was getting colder and darker. So it's like, it's all there's a fairly good chance it's linked to the seasonal kind of thing, which I talked about before. But
Yeah.
and especially since New Year, I've just been feeling really like, like I think the best I've been feeling is like meh, you know,
Oh
like it's
God.
like
Yeah.
and like it alternates a little bit, and it's just been lots of, it feels relentless. So since the start of the year, I don't know if I did I tell you about. So my mum's dad, my granddad died
Oh yeah. Yeah. You.
at the start of January. Um, so she ended up having to fly back to Kenya at really short notice, and go to the funeral and sort all of that out. So suddenly, like you've barely recovered from Christmas, and suddenly it's like, boom, you now got to deal with this. You got to deal with it, and we had to get the stuff prepared, which is fine because it is what it is. So we got to do like the COVID tests and the certificates and the documents, and from when you went to Disneyland, like there's so many things involved with traveling at the moment. It's it's kind of crazy. So all of that's going on. We managed to get that sorted, and it's fine. And then it's like you've almost got to start doing the paperwork for coming back and things. Even though it was like she was out there for 3 weeks, it's like, okay, what's she going to do when she gets back? What do we need to sort out? Fine, cool. The people who are ill and people who are dying, like even like non-family things. It's like so much going on. It's relentless, and it's like I'm fucking exhausted with this year already. So like that's all going on, and I'm not trying to look for sympathy. I'm just explaining why it is what it. But like it gets you down, and I think as well. I've been working in the office full time basically since New Year, which I wasn't really doing before. So that's a bit of a shock to the system. Very tiring, and I've just felt very much like it's a weird, vicious cycle almost where I feel a bit like I'm not in the right place mentally, so I'm struggling to communicate that to people and do what I need to do. But because I'm struggling to talk about it and struggling to do what I need to do, I'm not meeting my needs, so that I'm feeling worse, which means that I can't talk about it and know what to do. And it's like this horrible cycle that just like pushes you deeper. Um, and I realized, to be honest, I realized I was kind of to a similar point as you, that I was like, I get up and I could like, I woke up and I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go to work, fine. So you get yourself and you go to work. And throughout the day, I'm like, oh, when I get home, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And I got home, and I had dinner, and then virtually every night I was just like, oh, I'll just lay down on my bed for a bit. And I wasn't even sleeping, I was just laying there like, ugh. Like I didn't have much motivation to do anything at all.
Yeah.
Um, which is kind of it's almost a little bit scary, because it's like it's a similar thing, right? Like I know I just joked about it, but like I was trying to watch like Netflix and things, and it just wasn't, like I was getting annoyed with things 10 minutes in. I was like, fuck it, no. So I'm
Yeah.
just laying there in a
Yeah.
dark room, and it's the most depressing thing, right? And it's like,
And you don't know when that feeling's gonna end either.
no, it's very relentless. It's people sometimes get depression and they think, oh, it just means you're crying all the time. No, I actually haven't cried at all. I've just been like, you just stay, and it's just like, it's like there's nothing. That's the scariest bit for me, is that sometimes it just feels like there is, like you're almost beyond feeling sad. You're just like nothing. I
It's
don't. Do
like
you
you're
know what I mean?
tired.
It's
Yeah.
like it's like almost numb to things that are
Yeah.
going on. You're just like you're not, you're there, but like your brain is like, can't deal with it. Just gonna shut down, go on
Yeah.
autopilot for a bit. Um, and I guess it kind of, I think I just at some point I was like, this isn't okay. This isn't okay. Like I shouldn't. I don't do that. I don't normally come home from work and just want to do nothing, or like not talk. So like it was a little bit weird. So um weirdly, when Kat messaged that day, I think someone I know at work had they were walking past on their way out of the office, And we always like, oh, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm alright. How are you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he walked past and he's like, you're alright? And yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he stopped, came back and was like, are you really alright?
Called
And,
out.
and I was like, um, uh, yeah, I think so. And we had a bit of a conversation, and I went home and I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not alright. No, I'm not. And it's weird. Like, and why did I need someone else to tell me that I wasn't? But like, they didn't. They were just asking, and it made me go, no.
You then thought about it yourself, and
Yeah, and
like,
you thought about things, and it was like,
yeah,
no, I'm not alright. I feel like there's various things that have been going on recently that are a lot, and it feels like there's a lot going on to deal with at one time, which is stressful. I feel like, with certain things, like there have been points where I feel like I've kind of not been listened to or kind of dismissed for whatever reason. It's like,
yeah,
you suddenly recognize that that's not okay. So there's lots of things, and I said to him the next day, or a couple of days later, I was like, I'm really grateful actually that you said that, because I went home and thought about it and I was like, no, I'm not okay. I'm not okay right now. I'm having a tough time. But it was a similar thing. When I got that message from you, I was like, this is weird, because we've both been feeling kind of shit for a while. And it's like we've had this epiphany almost. It's like, no, it's okay. We can do something about this.
yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't tell you that I was feeling great. Like, I'm not. But it's like, I would say that it's like almost, it's like I've been in a hole, right? And it's like I've suddenly noticed there's a ladder in the corner. Out of nowhere, like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, you don't trust it because you didn't see it there before, so you're like, should I climb that ladder? And you're not really sure, and it kind of creaks a bit when you're on it. But I'm like, I'm starting to climb that ladder. That's the metaphor I'm going for this week. I guess both of us this week have been able to, if nothing else, recognize that, recognize that we're not in a good way and doing something about it. Even if it's a very simple thing, like you said, like cleaning the house or something.
Yeah.
I've been cleaning my room a bit this week because it's one of those things I always like to. If I could have a list of like depression indicators, one of them would be your room turning into a complete fucking trash.
And then you just feel like shit because your room's a mess.
Yeah. It's like, again, it's like the vicious cycle. It is, and
yeah.
So it's been I've been like kind of tidying it, and I've not been going crazy. I've been like, no, we'll do it in bits, piece by piece, just a little bit here, a little bit there, and like things. So at some point today, I want to clean my desk, because my desk is a tip of various things. But like, it's like, I'll just deal with that today. And even if I just deal with my desk today, I've won. And if I happen to do something else, that's extra.
Exactly.
But
I feel like always set yourself. Yeah, always set yourself like a couple of things that are easy to do, even if it's like brush your teeth, like just one thing. I think my big advice for life sometimes is that you give yourself pressure to be productive, whatever the fuck that means, and you set yourself these goals. I'm gonna save the world tomorrow. It's like, okay, what if you didn't save the world tomorrow? What if tomorrow you just did a little thing, and then tomorrow you can do another little thing, and in the end of it, it will be great. Maybe you'll have saved the world. But let's just take it a little bit at a time. Do the things that you actually can do, because you'll do them. You'll feel good that you managed to do those things that you wanted to do. And even if it takes you a bit longer than you might like it to, you'll get it done because you can. And that's always a good thing. Be realistic. Yeah. Be kind to yourself. Don't try and save the world. Maybe just save an ant or something today. You're basically
2 ants tomorrow.
For us to learn from. It's like, you don't just realise. It's like he's saying with the whole depression room, there's indicators like, your room's suddenly messy and all that, but at the time you don't like notice it, and it's not like, because we've talked about it today, that we're not going to end up in a rut next month. Like, but it's
I would never try and tell you that in 2 weeks' time I won't come back and tell you I had the same experience again. Because it might well happen. But that's okay.
But I feel like I got out of my headspace much quicker because I was more open about it. If that makes sense.
No, I agree. I think definitely yeah, I one of those things I'm prone to is not being open about it. And just kind of like pushing through. I have this weird mentality. It's like, oh, I'll deal with it next week. You know, it's like I'm feeling sad, but I'll deal with it next week. But obviously that's not really a wise thing to do. I'm not very open about it, and I think it does. I think one of the most exhausting things is that you try to explain to someone, I'm having a tough time. Okay, why?
Yeah, and you're like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't. Here's some things that have happened, which in and of themselves are not massively problematic. And I guess maybe a mix, but it's very difficult. And then someone else is like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're an idiot. So you don't...
People want to give you a quick fix, and when they can't, they're disappointed.
Exactly, and you don't want to disappoint them because you can see that they disappoint you, and it's like, oh, did that help you? And I'm like, no, it didn't. It didn't. It might have helped a little bit, but did you solve my problems? No. Can you solve my problems? No. Oh. Okay. And you don't want to talk to that person again because you don't want to make them feel like they failed at trying to help you. And it makes you feel stupid if you can't I always feel stupid that I can't explain what's going on in my mind sometimes, and I definitely have I have this thing. I don't know if you have it as well. It's a weird looking. You know, like stuttering or like stammering kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've noticed it of myself that it happens a lot when I'm feeling like I don't have the right words for what I'm trying to say, or if I'm like in a pressure situation. Like sometimes the same word gets repeated, and I'm like, oh, that's, and it's one of those things that you realize and you become aware of in your own speech patterns and things. But I get very stressed out if I don't have the right words to try and explain what's going on in my mind. And then often it's just easier to just dodge that bullet, you know? Why go through the stress of not knowing how to explain it? Just don't explain it. That's a terrible mentality. Don't do that.
Maybe this is why I have struggled to speak in so many fucking podcast episodes, because I've low-key been feeling low, so then I've just forgotten how to speak. Is that
maybe it definitely hits me more when I'm like feeling a little bit down. It's definitely I notice a lot when I'm editing and things that I'll repeat the same word multiple. I'll be like I and it's like, what's wrong? Just say the word. What's happened to you right now? And then I realise,
that's not being kind to yourself, is it?
It's not being kind to myself. That's that's a lesson that it's a lesson I'll never stop learning. Yeah, I feel like if you listen to our podcast, it probably seems like sometimes we say the same things some weeks. But that's because human beings are actually quite stupid, and we fail to learn the lesson the first time, or the second time, or the 26th time. We might learn a little bit, but we sometimes need to relearn that lesson in the same way that when you went to school, sometimes things didn't make sense the first time or the second time, or at all, possibly.
Did you ever have it where like you're at school and then like all of a sudden something just clicked? Like I always struggled in English and then I just had the right teacher at the right time. She said the right things, and then I suddenly went from being, all of a sudden, I went from really struggling with English in terms of, I would have these thoughts in my head about, say, a book, but I wouldn't be able to articulate them. Like, I wouldn't be able to write a methodical paragraph. It would just be like what I was thinking in that moment, and I just couldn't get it down. I mean, part of that will be probably dyslexia, but I remember I can't, like, I don't remember specifically what she taught me, but she just said something, and I just remember from that day on, like, being able to write much better,
Yeah.
like clearer. Apparently not be able to speak very
Really?
well. Oh my god.
I would say,
what is-
to be fair to you, 90% of the time you're fine.
It's when I think about speaking,
Mm.
I struggle.
I have that as well, definitely. When you become
Yeah.
aware of it and you're like, oh, this is a problem. I think that's the thing of last week, is that we were both becoming aware that, like, we were messing up. And we're trying to stop messing up. But you think so much about that, like, you just mess up more, and it's like this horrible moment of... Again, it spirals. We're on a constant spiral, really. One way or another.
Gosh.
When do we spiral upwards? That's what I'm ready for. Reverse slide.
Like 22 and 20. I mean, I'm gonna class you in the 23 club now. Sorry, I'm aging you.
No, that's fine. I'm nearly there.
Yeah, nearly there, boo. I feel like 24 is a cooler year, and 25. I think I said this last week. I feel like that's when the up happens. I'm hopeful. What did you say?
Well, stay
2032. 2031 was it?
2032.
That's gonna be your year.
I think was the year for me. Yeah, I'm ready for
Okay.
it. It's only 10 years away, so any day now. Tell you what, should we go on to some music? We've not done it in a while.
Okay, so do you know what? I saw you put "come over" again in brackets.
Yeah,
I just wanted to do air quotes.
it's weird.
Yeah.
How do you refer to that in a song when they have brackets? Like, are you meant to just read it as if it's a full sentence? Because, like, surely the brackets mean separate. Like, come over again.
I feel like sometimes people do it if there's a song that's got the same title, so they add the... So
Yeah.
it's like "come over," and then they've added the again because there's another song called "Come Over."
Yeah.
Don't know. Maybe I should find that out, considering, you know, my future job.
Don't worry about it. It's a next week kind of thing.
Next week. Okay, so Crawlers. I was just so impressed because
Thank you.
I did. Have I put them in the playlist before? I feel
You
like
have. They did a song. I think
Okay.
it's "So Tired."
yeah.
We talked about last year. So I check them out every now and then, and for whatever reason, I happened to end up on their Spotify. I saw the song. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And I just really vibed to it.
Yeah,
really liked
it did really well on TikTok. Crawlers was one of my little discoveries. Was it? I don't even know if it was last year, if it was the year before. I used them as a case study in my uni work when they had like 15,000 followers or something like that.
Oh my god.
TikTok, yeah, and I kept using them as an example to the band of why TikTok is so important.
Yeah.
Because they've grown massively, and I actually tried to get tickets to see them in London at Camden Assembly, but I thought they were being released at midnight, but they were being released at midday, and I missed out. Was really sad. But no, like, and this song, yeah, it ended up being a TikTok trend.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
So-
almost with it, everyone. I'm almost like...
I know, that was
Yeah.
why I was so impressed, because I thought
Thank you.
I'd put it in the playlist, and I like a few months ago, and that I just forgot that I put it in there or something. But yeah, no, it's a great song. I'm obsessed with her voice. Like,
Yes.
is that what
What
draws you
voice?
to them?
I remember thinking it before when we talked about "So Tired." There's a quality in her voice. I can't. I just don't know the word for it, but like.
It's like soulful.
Yeah, exactly. I love her voice, and this song really is like. It's weird. It can somehow be both soothing, almost at some points, and at other points
Yeah.
it's like shouting, like angry in the same song, and it's like, damn, you hit both of those just right, and it felt natural for you to be at both ends of the um spectrum almost.
And it doesn't feel like that cliche, like, when I say pop structure, I don't mean pop music, I mean like pop rock,
Yeah.
indie. Like, it doesn't feel as artificial as, some. When I say artificial, that has like a really negative connotation, but like a really overly structured song, let's say.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have that feel. Um,
I
yeah,
really
so I
like
get what you
the
mean.
bit between like um I think it's after the chorus of it. There's like this little like break between sections
Yeah,
where it's just like quite like it's just guitar, like some like kind of ooze over the top kind
backing
of thing.
vocals.
And I love that because
Yeah,
it feels really natural. It's like it is like a natural bridge into a thing. It does. It flows really naturally,
yeah, definitely.
and
It's
it's definitely like when you look at the lyrics for it, it's like, oh, oh god, this is quite intense. Um, like I don't really know what it's about, but like I just think it's a really good song. I think it's really. It was almost like I almost listened to it on loop when I first found it because I
it
was just
is one of
like
those ones that you can
lost in
loop
it
because
almost.
it's not so intense that you can't just be at peace with it.
Yeah, I just almost got lost in it. I was like, I just need that again. I just need it. Like I was just going round and round. I was like, this is great, and yeah, it's really good. I definitely, I really like them, and I think it's they're a great band for sure.
So with the TikTok trend, they were focusing around the lyrics, take her name out of your mouth, take.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So I was trying to like remember if that was how it was phrased.
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of people were using it for dead names,
Oh,
which was quite clever, I thought, because I don't think that was necessarily what it was written about. I could be wrong.
yeah, I don't know, but that's really interesting actually.
Yeah. So
Oh man, I love that. Yeah, I was gonna leave it till the end, but then I can't because I really liked So the last song you put in, "Sad," clap your hands, which again has the brackets in
I
there.
saw you listening. Yeah.
So uh, the weird thing is, first of all, I felt like I knew the lead singer's. I feel like I know the
Voice.
band almost,
Yeah, that was what
but
I
I can't
thought.
think of what song it would be.
No, I had this and I was trying to work it out, and I think I asked Piers, but he wasn't sure either. Maybe I didn't ask Piers, maybe I daydreamed I asked Piers. But no, I had the same thing. It really reminded me of another song and I just
Yeah.
couldn't place it.
I can't. If anyone listens and they realize it, please let us know because it really feels so familiar, but I just can't understand it. I don't know if you put the song in because of the week that we've had.
I think I actually found it the week before. I'd had it in my, actually I can find out because I think it dates when you've saved, like you've liked it. I think
Uh-huh.
it came up in my on the 29th of December I saved it.
Oh my god.
So I've been holding on to it.
This week it just felt very like, oh,
I know, how funny is that? Like
that's
I just
yeah,
I did actually listen to it quite a few times when I was feeling a bit
yeah.
meh, you know.
And I had like some bits I really liked about it. So there's like what was those two bits that really got me, and it weirdly relates to what we're saying. Okay, so there's like the line, "It's getting hard to justify my thoughts and where I'm coming from," and it's like that almost perfectly just describes what I was saying about how explaining like I'm feeling shit, but I can't really explain to you or justify why.
Yeah.
It's difficult to do that, and it's like a weird feeling. So like I got that definitely, and then what was the other bit? Oh, So shut up and be happy. It's all in your head. Grow up and be happy because it ain't that bad. That's what my doctor says. And I was like, yeah, I know that. I've had doctors who have said that. I've had people who say that. It's like you were saying as well with the like, why am I sad? I've got all these privileges, I've got all these things going on. Why am I possibly feeling sad?
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's just a very relatable kind of song that also throws you off because it sounds happy.
Yeah, and you can kind of like sing along to it. I was gonna say one of the lyrics that stuck out to me was, "I washed my hair, I'm still a mess." Like,
yeah,
I've had it. So I always used to think a bath fixes all your problems. I don't know, like when you have a bath, you just like, it's meant to be a relaxing
it's like me
thing,
and a cup of tea.
Yeah, it's like the same friggin' thing. And like when I was feeling down in the dumps, I lit the candles in my, like, I sort of cleaned the bath and like lit. All right. Go, my mental health matters too, Mum. I lit the candles in the bath, I got in, washed my hair, and I was like, great, I don't feel any better.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, like, it just jumped out at me.
You know what the stupid thing was? I listened to it and I was like, oh, if you're sad and you know, yeah, that's that.
Clap your hands.
And then I was like,
yeah,
that's not the nursery rhyme. No, that's not the nursery rhyme. It's if you're happy and you know it. How have I misremembered this? I felt like an idiot.
You know, we're just gonna like, if there's some kid going, if you're happy and you know it, we're gonna, like, if you're sad and you know it, we're gonna teach them the correct way. So if you're sad, you know it,
clap your hands, and it's me like, hi, it's me, I'm sad. You know, I love it. It's a bop. It's a certified bop. I love it. It does. Obviously, it sounds kind of depressing, but if you're gonna be depressed, why not bop while you're doing it?
Exactly.
I can't actually believe that's the sentence I went for.
I didn't know how to follow you up with that.
No. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just realised it's not what I thought it was called. I thought it was called Popular Street, but it's Poplar Street.
Oh, you thought it was Popular?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
By Glass Animals. And I'm pretty sure this is off one of their old albums.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like 2016. I
was obsessed with this. Well, I was obsessed with like a few songs on the album. I think there's like, Life Itself, Youth, Pork Soda, Other Side of Paradise. But I don't think I really. Do you fucking mind? I have a hard time making sentences work without you crying.
That's me talking to my brain.
Fucking work. Anyway. So, Glass Animals. I absolutely loved this album, but I think I never really listened to that song in particular because I was distracted by the other songs. But when you put it in, I was like, I fucking love this. It reminded me of like Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think, at the beginning. Is it Red Hot Chili Peppers
I get that.
Of? And I was just vibing. It made me smile. It's like,
right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this was on something, and I was like, oh, I remember this song. Because I'd heard it obviously ages ago. But never listened to it just on its own. And I really love about Glass Animals is that they're one of those artists that are really, really, really good at telling a story with the song.
Yeah.
That like the song is like genuinely like a story.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite difficult to do, I think. Like, I don't think
100%.
everyone can do that.
Definitely.
And when it's done well, it just works. And it feels natural. It's like, oh, wow, okay, this is going somewhere. But I really vibe to it. It's like the rhythm and the beat of it is just like... And I'm kind of a sucker for... It's not like the guitar is really like... it's not really like it's not there's many effects on the guitar itself, that like kind of riff that goes over the top. But I'm just in love with it for some reason.
I get you. They're so good at making experimental music conform to like pop rules, I guess. Like it's weird and wonderful, and yet packaged correctly. I don't know if that's it. Just works, and yeah,
it is. It's like I can't even. There's not. I don't have a word for how it makes me feel, but I've always loved their music, and yeah, it was nice to take a step back with this.
I suddenly remembered when you were talking that I actually saw them live in, I think, 2018.
Oh.
It might have been 2009. No, I'm pretty sure it's 2017. Might have been 2017. I think it was my first year at Reading. It was either my first or my second year there, and they were talking about how pineapples had been banned from Reading Festival because of them, because they were scared people were gonna like throw pineapples, and yeah, it was just, and the crowd was really quite rough for like an indie act. Like everyone was just going for it, like everyone was on drugs. It was quite spectacular.
I guess the thing is, it almost, I can imagine, well, I say I can imagine, having never been high, I can't really imagine it, but Glass Animals feels like the kind of thing you could almost really get lost in. It's like really kind of like, it's almost got a little of that psychedelic kind of element to it, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of their music would kind of work with that, I think.
And especially lyrics like pineapples are in my head. Like,
yes.
Just imagine people like tripping, like seeing pineapples everywhere. Like,
I think that's the thing as well. I think that that's on the same album as this song. That song, and I definitely think it's. I was
trying so hard not to sing it when I was saying pineapples are in my head. I was
there you go. I'm proud of you. But like it overshadowed. I think that song was like it was like so this song almost got like
forgotten
in the mix, but it's definitely a good song. So Ella Marie by Maddie Hellstrom. I mean, you seem to have a talent for finding people who are. I know we're not old. I know that. But, I mean, we can safely say that we're not teenagers anymore, obviously.
I know, it's so sad.
You keep finding teenagers who are, like, not even, like, 18. Right? I think she's 17.
Yeah.
And she's made this, and I'm just like, what was I doing? What was I doing at 17? I think I was still struggling to understand photosynthesis or something dumb. I don't know why photosynthesis came to my mind. Just go with it. I'm
gonna go with it.
But it's she's good. She's really good.
Yeah, I might have mentioned her to you before because when we were looking for a guitarist for the band, I found her online. I was like searching because I followed quite a few sort of young guitarists that I thought would like do well, and it's obviously good to have people in the industry just like be aware of who's doing what. And shut up, I love how I just go back to like a normal conversation.
It's amazing. It's like, you fucking bastard. So yes, I was doing a thing.
Anyway, I found her and I messaged her and I was like, I don't know if you're in the UK, and I felt really like I think she was 16 at the time.
Yeah.
So I think she must be nearly 18 now because it was a while back. But I remember messaging her thinking, oh, I feel like a fucking pedo. Like, do you happen to live in the UK? And she said, oh no, I live in America. And she goes, oh, but I am planning on coming to the UK.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, like whereabouts? Like thinking she was going to say London or Manchester. I don't know what is wrong with him.
What, you were counting on her saying, oh, I'm actually in this place called it sounds like a really great place.
Close. This is why I'm telling the story in the music section. I don't think you could guess what she said. It made me laugh so much.
Oh, so it's not going to be somewhere like really obviously mainstream.
No.
Where's somewhere like really unexpected and like odd and like
Come here.
fucking or something, I don't know.
Pretty similar.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
How random is that? She ended up, so because of COVID, like she couldn't come over at the time because it was really bad. I don't know what her plans are now, whether she's still thinking about coming over or not, but she did the, do you remember I got Toffees to cover Long Shot by Catfish and
Yeah.
Bottleman, and she did the guitar for it.
Oh.
So yeah, so you already sort of knew of her, and so I had her on my radar, and I was sort of hoping she was going to come out with music. And when she came out with this, I was like, how the fuck did you like produce this yourself?
I know.
I think she's played drums on it herself as well, and like done all the guitar and the singing. I'm like, what the fuck? I feel so unaccomplished, but I am so glad that I'm hearing this talent. So
it's great. It is. It's like simple, not in a bad way. But it's
simple
very
but effective.
it's so well produced almost. Yeah, like it's so well together. I would
Yeah.
fully have accepted that it was, mixed by someone, I don't know, like professional, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
It's very catchy as well. Whenever
Yeah.
I like reading Ella Marie, it makes it very hard for me not to sing it.
Sing it in your head. Yeah, and this is the thing. I actually I thought, oh, I'll listen to it, and when you just like, I have no sort of. I know she plays guitar well and that she sings a bit, but I didn't know what to sort of expect, and then I ended up sort of having it on repeat, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, because I'm not just like trying to be a supportive person. I actually love this.
Yeah.
Without
no, genuinely.
that, if that makes sense.
Genuine. I mean, I loved it without knowing any of the connection in there at all.
Yeah. I'm now wondering whether I maybe shouldn't have said the location in case privacy issues.
Maybe I'll beep it out.
Beep it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
that
god,
might
I
be
can't
good.
believe you're planning on coming to.
Beep.
Yeah. Yeah, what a song. I love it.
I'm so looking forward to you beeping over bits as well, because I don't. Have you
I've never
done
done
that
it.
yet?
I've never done it.
Oh my god. Like I just remember when I was little, and it would be really over the top.
Obnoxious, like beep, like fuck off. Get out.
Wolf Alice is the last one, isn't it? Yeah.
So it is, yeah. Yeah.
So, Smile by Wolf Alice on the Blue Weekend album. This was really cool. I don't know what it was. Like, I've told you this before. I've had a really weird, like, on-off relationship with Wolf Alice.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I like their stuff. Sometimes it's a miss for me. Like, I have to listen to a song a few times before I get it, let's say.
Yeah.
And with this song, I just really liked it. Again, quite chill. Chill but effective. I'm gonna go for.
Yeah.
What drew you to the
So,
song in particular?
Again, it came up one of these like Discover playlists or whatever, and the only song I haven't actually listened to the album yet. But I listened.
Oh, is this new?
The album came out last year, I think late last year.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So
I might have to check it out then.
we talked about Last Man on Earth at some point last year, which is a very different song. Like piano kind of driven, kind of like very restrained and held back. Whereas this is just a bit more like on it, kind of like indie pop punk kind of almost thing, you know, like
Yeah,
I
but
know what words I'm going for. I just can't phrase them. Um, I really like it. I like her kind of like singing, like almost not quite rapping, but you know, like
spoken
spoken.
word.
Yeah. I love it, and I
Don't.
really like the lyrics for it. It's very empowerment kind of vibes, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm ain't ashamed of being sensitive. I believe it's the perfect adjective. Or don't call me mad. There's a difference. I'm angry, and your choice to call me cute has offended me. Which
Oh,
I
okay, so
really
it's
like.
bringing up the feminist argument.
Exactly. I think a lot about it, and it's like, yeah, the difference between men can be angry and aggressive, but for women, it's just, oh, she's just mad because, you know, oh, you're cute,
So,
blah blah blah, and it's like,
oh,
and
you're
it's so I like the
feisty.
wind it up and this honeybee stings, and I'm like, nice, I like that.
That's beautiful.
I like that. It's got some like some bite to it, some aggression to it, and I also, when I was looking it up, I found out that the producer or one of the producers is Marcus Dravs, who I know because of the work he's done with Coldplay on which one
Oh,
was
I
it? Viva La
see.
Vida and Miley Cyrus.
That is
Um,
amazing.
and he's also done some production with Florence and the Machine, Arcade Fire,
Wow.
Mumford and Sons, like big names, big names. And I yeah, I think he's really good at doing what he does. You know, he's a really skilled at it, and yeah, it's one of those moments when you see someone's name in that and you're like, oh, this is gonna be good because you know if you're involved, so there's no way I'm gonna dislike it. And I mean, I didn't know before listening to it, but it was
Well, I
it'll,
guess you know the producer that they've listened to the music, so and if they've produced songs that you like, then
yeah.
they have a similar taste to you. I guess that's how you would.
Well, I think that's the thing as well. It's like, you know, obviously I've said before that My Eyes is one of my favorite albums. You got Viva La Vida is on there. He did say it was the first Mumford and Sons album, Say No More, which I think is a
Oh,
great album. He
is
did,
that with Little Lion Man?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Little Lion Man is on there.
Beautiful.
The Cave is on there, which I love.
Oh,
So many good
I
songs.
forgot about that song. That song is so good.
You're
Oh,
right.
you've made my day.
It's
I'm
great.
gonna listen to that after the podcast.
It's great, and like, yeah. So like, Arcade Fire did the album The Suburbs, which I really like. And Reflector, they like just really good albums that I really love. So it's like, I, you know, like I'm like you've got good taste. I can't, obviously, like,
I
music is more than
applaud
just
your
a
taste.
producer,
Yeah.
but like the producer is definitely important in there. I was like, nice.
Well, a
Nice.
lot of producers get songwriter credits because of how
Yeah,
much influence they have on the song. So,
yeah, it's good. Certified Bop, can confirm. Thank you.
whoop whoop.
Last one. Are You Alright by Yankee. How did you find this?
This is just a vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I found it. I can't remember. I don't know.
It,
Apparently, I added it in November,
I know.
but I don't remember finding it, if that makes sense. Like, when I listened to it, I was like, I know this. Oh, I found this beforehand. I don't remember finding this, but I love it all over again.
Mm.
So I don't know if it was from a recommended playlist or if it was someone you had suggested in the past. I have no idea.
Don't know. I don't know.
It just appeared.
Again,
and I'm
it's
so
very
glad.
it's got very what's the word I'm looking for here? Retro kind of vibe, almost.
Yeah, it's quite different to like the other stuff we've been talking about today. The other songs.
Yeah. No, I do like this. It's very who's the thing I'm thinking of? Is that the name of the artist? I want to say Rex Orange County, but I might be like
Oh, Rex Orange
pulling
County.
that out of my
Yeah.
ass. A similar kind of thing. It's that kind of like almost like it's clearly modern and like new, well, newish,
Yeah.
but like it has that feel to it, something that could have come out of like 70s, 80s kind of thing. I don't know, there's just something there, some kind of quality about it that feels very like that, and I love it. I'm here.
It's like very funk bassy, which I fuck with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just like smooth, rhythmic, and I mean, lyric wise, there's not a lot going on.
No.
It's like that's almost a good thing, because you get to, you know, if you listen to music without lyrics, you're very aware that there aren't lyrics there, and it feels like it should be background music instead of something that you actively listen to.
Yeah.
So then when a song comes along that has a few lyrics but not loads of lyrics, it's like, oh, okay, my brain's thinking I'm listening to lyrical music, but I'm actually kind of listening to the instrumental more than lyrics, if that
I get you.
sounds crazy, maybe?
No, that makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, I actually get that.
I feel like there's a music theory in there somewhere.
That, I'd love to go back and listen to it. Maybe week by week we've been like actually putting together this complex theory, the Walter Rights theory of music. If someone more clever than us wants to work out what we're saying and then put our names to it, we can get behind that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You can even like pay us if you want.
Yeah, well, I think you should if you're going to use our name. Like that's not. Obviously, we'll cut you in, but
yeah,
obviously we're doing much of the hard work here, so don't try and freeload,
Oh my god. We're
Anyway,
too funny. We're too
we
much.
We're
Do you
great.
know what? We've got through the podcast, right?
Yes.
There's no more songs left without bursting into laughter.
It has been a surprisingly cohesive. It felt like it was almost structured, and it wasn't.
And we've touched on like so many things.
Yeah.
I'm like proud of us. It's like growth.
What's
the next
happened
episode we're going to be a mess. Like,
Jesus Christ, I just dropped it. I've been having this I'll finish it. Basically I've had this like I think from the way I sit at work and stuff has been like causing me some like wrist pain when I'm like typing and stuff.
ooh. Yeah,
so it's fine. So I've got
definitely
this,
from typing.
Fucking hell. It's my left hand, alright? I'll have you know I'm right-handed, so
okay.
Just keep that one out. Look, it's anyway.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know what to say. I was like, hello.
Outed.
I'm left-handed. No, I'm not. I'm right-handed. Oh my god, I forgot which hand I wrote with. I'm right-handed. This is my left hand. Hello. Anyway, I have this like stress ball that I've been like trying to like, because it's just like it's been helping kind of like exercise and like I don't know, deal with the pain. And I've forgotten why I brought it up now because I got so sidetracked by that.
Sorry.
So I guess that's fucking hell.
I was saying about us being cohesive with the podcast, like
yeah, well, it's fucking Nova now, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, nothing. Cohesive. We did it. We nailed it. Until now.
Woo!
So yes, I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll.
I'm gonna be so bothered by the fact you haven't worked out what you were gonna say.
Well, think how I feel now.
It's all my
If you
fault.
hadn't gone for the you clearly have a wanking injury, then I clearly would have been fine.
Did I say that? Was that?
You definitely meant that. Don't try and tell me you meant anything else.
Okay, yeah, you outed
Yeah.
me.
I got you.
And then you outed me.
I got you. Fucking hell.
You chronic wanker.
No, that's not how I'm finishing this week's episode. I'm not having that one on me as the end of the episode.
You can't even title the podcast that.
Oh, I can't. I titled the podcast. What? I don't.
No, because you imagine you title it that, and then people like listen to the first bit where we're talking about like racism and sexism, and it's been titled "Chronic Wanker."
Yeah, they're gonna think some terrible things at us. Look, thanks for listening this week. I really thought we were gonna get through the whole thing without me falling apart at the end. But that's not
It's all
possible.
my fault.
It's not
it's
your
all my
fault, really.
fault.
It's just I got so thrown by it. I think the final straw was I'm left-handed. When I'm so clearly not. No, I've lost it. That's it. We just got to end.
We love you.
We
Thanks
love
for
you.
dealing with our bullshit.
Thank you.
Bye.
We'll see you again.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, bye.
Meh.